Hello, become SAM 3 students. We already have completed our 3 chapters, and today we are going to start your new chapter, that is balance of payment. And we can say it is about international trade. Now, guys, what is international trade? So, before starting this chapter, we need to understand about two different terms. The one is internal trade, and the other is international trade. So, guys, these are the topics which is also considered in the chapter, but I need to explain you this before the starting the chapter. So, guys, when we see about international trade, then it is a trade which is happen between one or more countries. So, guys, when two countries exchange their goods or services each other, or a country which exchanges its goods or services with more than other countries, more than two or three countries, then it is considered as a international trade. And there are two very famous terms. The one is import and the other is export. Is also heard by you somewhere and sometime. So, guys, now we will start the new chapter, that is balance of payment, or we can also say international trade, because when we need to do the balance of payment, there is international trade which must exist. So, guys, these are the topics which will be considered in this chapter. And first, we need to understand what is trade. So, guys, as we know very well that what is trade? Trade means to exchange goods and services with the money. So, guys, let's see what has written in this. As we know so well, man in modern time does not live in isolation. He lives in a society of human beings who supports and satisfy each other's want. The division of labor, specialization, and use of machinery have all led to interdependence of individuals on each other, and hence there has arisen the need for exchange. Production in modern time is not always undertaken for direct consumption, but it is largely undertaken for the market. And market is nothing but a mechanism for that facilities exchange or trade. Thus, the term thus the term trade is commonly understood to mean exchange of goods and commodities between individuals or groups. So, as we can understand very clearly, guys, that when we are asked what is trade, we can say trade means to exchange goods and commodities or goods and services between two individuals or a group. In other words, trade is imply exchange of goods and services between two parties. This exchange may be direct through the barter or indirect through the use of money as a medium of exchange. So this exchange might be goods. In the exchange of goods, it might be possible as when there is barter system, or the one party use money to get thing, or we can say money is used as a medium of exchange, then also we can say it is a trade. So, guys, trade means exchange of goods and services between the individuals or the group of people. Now, guys, we will see further. Broadly speaking, there are two types of trade. The one is internal trade and the other is international trade. And you know these two terms very well, that internal trade is a trade which undertaken, the trade activities are undertaken, we can say, under the geographical area of any country. And when the trade which is undertaken beyond the geographical area of any country is known as international trade. When we do the business cross borders, it is known as international trade. So, guys, let's see what the explanation says. Internal trade refers to the exchange of goods and services within the geographical boundaries of a nation. Now, since the country may be divided into many regions, trade between different regions of a country is also known as inter-regional trade, which is the same thing as the internal trade. So, we can also say international trade as inter-regional trade, because when there are many regions in a single country, like India, there are many regions. So when the trade is happening between the different regions, or we can say among the different regions of the country, we can say it is inter-regional trade. And guys, there are other term, that is international trade. On other hand, refers to the trade or exchange of goods and services between two or more sovereign nations. Thus, for example, trade between India and America is a case of international trade. So guys, when one nation do the trade activity with other countries or other nations, we can say it is an international trade. Now guys, we will understand the fundamental principle of trade. So what is the basic fundamental principle of the trade? We will read in it. The fundamental principle of trade, whether it is internal or international, it is that it enables people in different regions or different countries to enjoy those goods and services which they cannot produce themselves, or produce only at a comparative higher cost. So guys, the basic principle behind the trade is very simple. The things which I cannot produce, I need to buy it from somewhere else. And the other people, each and everyone who is not able to produce the goods or the services, he need to buy those goods and services from somewhere else to satisfy his needs. So these kind of things, by trade we can buy the things which we are not able to produce, the things the that things the sorry guys, the things that we are not able to produce, we need to buy those things to satisfy our needs. So by this way we can clearly say that the fundamental principle of trade is to provide the goods and services to the people who cannot produce the goods themselves, or if they can produce those goods, it might be at a higher cost. And this is why the fundamental principle of trade is to exchange those goods and services in the area where it is not might possible to produce. Now guys, we will see the difference between internal and international trade. So as we know this term very well, we will read the first basic difference. Internal trade refers to the exchange of domestically produced goods within the political boundaries of a country, whereas international trade refers to the trade between two or more sovereign nations. Thus, the term like export and imports, rate of exchange, etc., are more often used in international trade rather than in internal trade. Export implies selling of goods and foreign or to a foreign countries, while imports implies buying goods from foreign countries. So guys, we know these two terms very well, that what is import and what is export. When we buy the goods and services from other countries, it is known as import. But when we sell a goods or a services to other country, then we can call it export. So these are the terms which is used in the international trade, and we can clearly say that when the trade activity happens in a geographical boundary of any nation, it is known as internal trade. But when the trade activities happen beyond the geographical area of a nation, then we can say it is an international trade. Now we will see the other difference. Another important difference between the two is that whereas the trade is within the country is trade amongst the same group of people, trade between countries takes among the different, we can say, heterogeneous group. There are wide differences in socio-economic environment in different countries. So guys, whereas the within the same country it is more or less homogeneous in this connection, we can say Friedrich List has rightly observed that domestic trade is among us, while international trade is between us and them. So guys, this explanation says that when we are doing internal trade, then in a country people are almost same, their habits are not much different, so there is no much variety in the people. So we can do our business very well, we can do trade very well, we can produce same kind of goods and services. People generally prefer same kind of goods and services, so taste and preferences of people are not much different. But when we are doing international business, or we can say international trade, people are quite different than what country that we are living in. So guys, people are quite different in the international trade. So we also need to keep it in mind that whatever the trade we are doing, we also need to focus on the people to which we are selling our product. So uh, some of the economists have said that domestic trade, or we can say internal trade, is among us, but when we are doing international trade, it is between us and them. Now the third difference that we are given in this chapter, that is another major difference between internal and international trade, lies in the degree of mobility of the factors of production. Thus, in internal trade, the degree of mobility of factors like labor and capital is greater as compared to the international trade. Differences in language, customs, traditions, religions, social and political environment, immigrations, law, discrimination against foreign capital, restriction on capital inflows and outflows, as also these restrictions on repatriations of profit and dividends, fear of nationalization, etc. All these obstruct the international mobility of labor and capital. So guys, when we are doing an internal business, or we can say internal trade, then there is no much variation in the legal procedures, legal rules and acts and different laws of the country. But when we are doing international business, the people and the language of different countries are different, traditions, their religion, their social and political environment is totally different, immigration law. So there are certain things that are different, and we also need to focus on the people and their religion and the society and the way they are living, and their beliefs will also affect the international trade. Now guys, uh, the next difference is, again in the case of internal trade, all transactions take place through a single uniform currency, while in the case of international trade, however, transaction between different countries involve the, sorry guys, where we were involve the use of different currencies, and hence there arises the problem of foreign exchange and exchange rate. So guys, again the biggest difference in internal and international trade is, when we are doing our trade internally, then there is a single currency that we are using. But when we are doing the trade internationally, then the currency of different countries are different. So again there will be a problem in the exchange rate and the value of different countries currency. Now guys, the further we will see the difference between internal and international trade, that is, besides in the case of internal trade, economic policy, that is monetary policy, fiscal monetary policy, fiscal policy, trade policy, etc., is more or less uniform for the entire country. Likewise, industrial policy, labor policy, social security measures, etc., made applicable more or less in a similar manner throughout the country as a whole. However, all these policies differ widely in different countries. Thus, for example, while country A may be pursuing expansionary monetary policy, country B may be adopting contractory monetary policy in international trade. Each country involves its own economic policy in the context of its special economic condition and circumstances. So, guys, based on this explanation, we can understand that the different policies of different countries are different. So when we are doing an international trade, there is same policy, or we can say uniformity of the policies which is taken on the money, whether it is a monetary policy, fiscal policy, trade policy, or so on. So guys, when we are doing internal trade, there is no much barriers of the policies which has been undertaken by, or we can say which has been implemented by the government. But when we are doing our business internationally, when there is a thing of, or we can say there is a matter of international trade, the different policies about the monetary, fiscal and the trade policy are different, in we can say there is a variation in the different countries. So again there will be the problem of the different policy in the different countries. Now guys, we will move further, and there is a last difference between internal and international trade is, then there are cultural distinctions between the different markets. Internal trade takes place in a more or less homogeneous market situation, whereas in the case of international trade, market lack homogeneity on the account of differences in language, preferences, customs, weights and measures, etc. The behavior of international buyers would therefore be different in each case. Thus, for example, the British or the Indians use right hand driven cars, whereas the Americans and French use the left hand driven cars. So, guys, as you can understand very well, that here the habits of the people, or we can say the lifestyle of the people, are quite different in the different countries. So when we are doing our trade internally, then there is no problem because people of single nation is quite uniform in all the way. But when we are doing our trade internationally, then there are vast variety of the people in different countries. So here the example of car which is preferred by the people of different countries, as we can say, the British or the Indians use right-hand driven cars, whereas the Americans and the French use left-hand driven cars. So, according to this, we can clearly understand that this is how the people are quite different in the international trade. Now, guys, we will see balance of trade. Now, you know that what is balance of trade and what is balance of payment. But if you don't know about this, we will understand it briefly. Now, guys, what is balance? As you know very well that being a student of commerce, you know that what is balance. Balance means when there are two sides and both the sides are equal, then we can say there is a balance. Now, what is balance of trade? So here, guys, we need to do the focus on the import and the export. So, guys, each and every country tries to increase its export rather than import. So, guys, when we are doing both activity, one is import and the other is export, we always tries to balance both the thing, because when there is import is higher than the export, then our countries needs to may loss the loss suffer, because the currency of our country may need to be paid to the other countries in the exchange of goods and the services which we have imported. So, guys, what is balance of trade? Balance of trade means it is a balance between import and export of the physical goods that we are dealing, and we will see under it. The concept of balance of trade and balance of payment occupy a significant place in the sphere of international trade and foreign exchange. We shall discuss here the meaning of these two terms and the difference between them. So, guys, first of all, we will see what is balance of trade. The term balance of trade refers to a systematic record of transactions pertaining to all visible items of export and imports. So, guys, in the balance of trade, we only consider the visible items, but when we are talking about balance of payment, in the balance of payment, we will consider both visible and non-visible item in the balance of payment. So, guys, it is a systematic record. Whatever the transaction we have done, whatever the trade we have done, whatever the import and export we have done, we will record all the transaction of physical goods to which we have done for the import or the export. So, guys, when we record all the transaction of import and export of visible items, we will say that it is our balance of trade. The term balance of trade refers to a systematic record of transaction pertaining to all visible items of export and import of a country during a given period, say for 1 year. It represents the value of all goods and commodities exported and imported by a country, so that we can know that how much goods that we have exported and how much good that we have imported from other countries. This movement of goods between different countries is known as visible trade, because the movement is open and can be verified by the custom officials. So, guys, we can verify, the custom officials can verify this data of different countries during the given period of time. If a money value of export of a country is equal to the money value of imports, the balance of trade is said to be in a balance. So, guys, when there is the value of export is equal to the value of import, we can say there is a balance of trade is balanced. But this need not to be the case of every time, because those who export and import are not necessarily the same person. Such as if the money value of export of a country exceeds the money value of import, the balance of trade is said to be favorable. Because guys, when there is export is more than the import, then we can say it is a favorable condition. On other hand, if the money value of import is exceed the value of its export, the balance of trade is said to be unfavorable or adverse. So, guys, when any country has more export than the import, then we can say it is a favorable situation for the country. But when there is more import than the export, then it is not favorable situation or the condition for any country. So, as you can understand that what is the balance of trade? Balance of trade means it is a systematic record of all the transaction of visible goods of import and export. Means whatever the import and export that we do, there must be a visible goods. We will not consider the services, so we can say it is invisible goods. So it is a record of all the transaction of visible goods of import and export, that is known as balance of trade. And guys, when the value of export and the value of import are equal, then we can say there is a balance of trade. And when the import is higher than the export, then we can say this is we can say unfavorable situation. And when there is export is higher than the import, it is a favorable situation. Now guys, we will see balance of payment. What is balance of payment? We will see under it. According to Kindleberger, the balance of payment of a country is a systematic record of all economic transactions between the residents of a reporting country and the resident of a foreign country during a given period of time. So guys, here we need to consider all the economic transaction, whether it is a visible good or it is invisible goods or services. So we can say balance of trade is a part of balance of payment, because balance of payment consider the balance of trade as well as invisible goods also. So guys, we will see under it, balance of payment is thus comprehensive record of all economic transactions of the residents of the country with the rest of the world during a given period of time. So guys, when the resident of India do the transaction with other countries, with the other country, for say for import or the export, and there is a record of all the transaction, whether it is a physical or we can say visible goods or invisible goods. So this is known as balance of payment. This record is so prepared as to provide the meaning and measure to the various components of the country's external economic transaction. It indicates the total payment which a country has to make to other countries of the world, and the total payment which it has to be received from other countries of the world. It thus follows that. So guys, when we record all the transaction of import and export, we can come to know that how much money we need to pay for our imports and how much money we will get for our exports. So we can also know such kind of situation by recording all the economic transactions of the countries. Now guys, we need to see these points. Balance of payment is a statement of systematic record of all economic transactions which a country has entered into with the other countries or the world. So there must be an international trade, and whatever the import and export we are doing, when there is a systematic record of all the economic transactions of all the import and export goods, whether it is a visible or invisible goods or services, when we record all the transaction, it is known as balance of payment. The transaction include both current account and capital account transactions. Now guys, we also will discuss about current and capital account. It refers to a specific period of time which is generally a year, and when there is a matter of time, we will consider the time of 1 year. Now guys, we will move further. It adopts a double entry bookkeeping system. That is to say, there are two sides of the balance of payment, the credit side and the debit side. Receipts are shown on the credit side and the payments are shown on the debit side. So guys, being a student of commerce, you must know about the double entry bookkeeping system, because in the double entry bookkeeping system, all the transactions have two entries. And in that, when there are two sides, the one is for credit and the other is for debit, and at the end of the transactions, we will get both the side equal. So there is the same thing in the balance of payment. There are two different sides, the one is for credit and the other is for debit. And what we consider in the debit and what we consider in the credit, then we can say that the credit side and the debit side, receipts are shown on the credit side. Whatever the money that we will get by doing export, we will consider we will put it on the credit side, and the payment that on the debit side. And whatever the payment that we need to do for our imports, that will be on the debit side. In the accounting sense, debit and credit will always balance each other, that you know very well. that is the balance of payment of the country, it is always in a balance. Difference between balance of trade and balance of payment. So guys, as we know it very well, as I have explained you well, that balance of trade only consider the import and export of visible goods, but balance of payment consider both visible goods and invisible goods also. So guys, here the biggest difference between them is this. Now we will see under it. Balance of trade and balance of payment are two related terms, but they should be carefully distinguished from each other because they do not have exactly the same meaning. The balance of trade of a country refers to difference in the money value of export and import of commodities only. So here we will consider only the commodities. We cannot consider the service in the balance of trade. So services will not be considered in the balance of trade. There will be only the commodities, or commodities we can say it is a visible goods, goods that we can see, we can touch. So in the balance of trade there will be only the consideration of commodities only, that is the visible item, or we can say physical goods only. Movement of goods and commodities between different countries is known as visible trade because the movement is open and can be verified by the custom officials. That is, these visible items of trade have been recorded at the airports and in the returns of the custom departments. Because when you are doing the import or the export of visible things, it will be verified at the airports, it will be verified by custom officers and so on. So guys, this is what the balance of trade is. Now guys, we will see balance of payment. Balance of payment, on the other hand, is more comprehensive in scope than the balance of trade. It includes not only import and export of goods, which are visible items, but also such invisible items like shipping, banking, and insurance charges, tourist expenses, capital transfer, interest payment, gifts, grants, etc. Balance of trade thus forms only a part of balance of payment, though usually it is its largest components. So guys, balance of payment consider the balance of trade as well as it also consider the invisible trade. Say for the services of banking, insurance charges, tourist expenses, capital interest, etc. Now guys, we will see here. Here we are given the difference of balance of trade and balance of payment that I have already explained to you. You just need to read this out and you will understand very well. We will see further structure of balance of payment. So guys, what is the structure of balance of payment? You know very well that what is balance of payment is. It is about the import and export of all the economic transaction. So as said above, the balance of payment of a country is a summary of its total economic transaction undertaken by it on international account with the other countries of the world. So usually composed of two parts, the current account and the capital account. So balance of payment has two different accounts. The one is current account, then the other is capital account. Now guys, we will see first, as it is marked as the most important question, you need to focus more here. Now guys, the first one is current account. What is current account? The current account of balance of payment comprises of two subgroups. Now the current account also has two subgroups. The one is merchandise, or we can say trade account, and the other is invisible account. Let's see. The merchandise or trade account comprises of the transaction of relating to goods and commodities. That is all the goods which the country export and imports are recorded in the trade account. So guys, in the current account, the one thing is considered is the trade account, means all the physical goods, or we can say all the visible goods that we do the import or the export will be considered, or we can say will be recorded in the trade account. So in the current account, the one thing is trade account and other thing is invisible account. Now what is invisible account? That we will see guys. The invisible account usually comprises of various types of services like banking, insurance, shipping, rendered and received by a country, tourist expense, receipt of payment of dividend and interest on the investment made abroad, transfer payment like gift, donation, grants, was indemnity, etc. For indemnity, etc. So guys, here are some of the services which is considered in the invisible account. So guys, in the balance of payment there are two different accounts. The one is current account, then the other is capital account. In the current account there are two different accounts. The one is trade account and the other is invisible account. In the trade account we will consider all the transaction of the visible goods, or we can say physical goods that we import or the export. And in the invisible account, there are some services like banking services, dividend, paid dividend, gifts, and so on. So are the services which will be considered in the invisible account. Now guys, we will see the capital account. What will be considered in the capital account? The capital account of balance of payment of a country is made up for capital transaction which comprise for long term and short term movement of capital, sale and purchase of gold, as also changes in the official currency reserves, including changes in the foreign exchange assets with the central bank of the country. Here, thus the various items in the balance of payment of a country or the current account and the capital account are listed below. So guys, here we are given the two different things by which by this bifurcation we can understand that what are the things which are considered in the current account and what are the things which are considered in the capital account. So guys, as we have seen very well that in the current account, on the credit side, that we will get, that is merchandise, visible export on the government, or on the debit side, visible imports on the government, because when we do import we need to pay the money to the other countries. And guys, here are some second point, that is invisible item of the export. So guys, whatever the transaction of export, that will be considered in the um, credit side, and whatever the transaction of the import will be considered in the on the debit side. And here are the merchandise that is visible, and here are the, we can say in the invisible section there will be the consideration of the different services. Now guys, we will see the third point, that is receipt on the account of gifts, grants, donation, war indemnity, etc. So whenever we get gifts from other countries, it will be considered in the credit side of the balance of the payment in the current account. And when we pay the amount of gift to other countries, or there are some other criteria also, that will be considered in the debit side of the balance of payment in the current account. And there are inward remittances, outward remittances, then miscellaneous receipts for the service rendered by the expert technicians and other in the foreign countries. So whatever we will get, we will consider this on the credit side of in the current account of balance of payment, and whatever we need to pay will be considered in the on the debit side of the current account of the balance of payment. Now guys, we will see the capital account, that we need to see it very deeply, that what will be considered in the capital account. So there are two different sides as usual. The one is credit and the other is debit. In the credit we will get receipts, and on the credit we need to do the payment. So guys, long-term foreign investment in the country in a form of equity investment by foreign countries in securities. So guys, whenever the citizen of country will buy the share of other country of other companies in different countries, it will be considered in the capital account. And when the foreign country comes to India and do the investment in some of the companies, it will be also considered in the capital account. In the debit side, it will be totally inverse. We can say inverse. And guys, we will see the second point, receipt on the account of short term and long term loans, credited credits, etc. Now guys, in this we will consider the loan which is taken international financial institutions, foreign government, or private foreign investors. So when there is a loan is taken from us, we will consider here. And when the loan is get from the different countries, we will consider here. Receipt from the sale of gold, when we sell gold to other countries, we will consider here and in the capital account. And when we need to do the payment for purchase of the gold, when we purchase gold from other countries, we need to do the payment, so that we will consider this on the debit side in the capital account. And guys, you can see it very well that what are the things that are considered in the capital account and the current account. Now guys, we will move further. Okay guys, so now we will see picture of the overall economy. So as we know it very well that when we are talking about the balance of trade and the balance of payment, balance of trade will only consider the import and the export of visible goods. But when we are talking about the balance of payment consider all the economic transaction of the import and export. So when we need to see the picture of overall economy, we need to be rely on balance of payment. because balance of trade cannot show us the picture of overall economy by only the transaction of physical goods of import and export. So here we will read, it is well to note that it is the balance of payment and not the balance of trade which present the real picture of overall economy of a nation. Balance of trade will not show us the real picture of the overall economy. We need to be dependent on the balance of payment. Now guys, we will read further. The surplus in the balance of trade is not necessary an indication of country's prosperity, nor a deficit an indication of a poor health of a country's economy. Thus, for example, a country may be having a surplus on its balance of trade. A country may be having a surplus on its balance of trade, but if it has to make the large payment on invisible imports, the overall balance of payment would be deficit. Likewise, a country may be having a deficit in its balance of trade, but if it is receiving a large payment on the account of invisible export, the overall balance of the payment would be in the surplus. So guys, as we know that when the value of the import is higher than the value of export, then it is totally unfavorable situation. So when we talk about balance of trade and the balance of payment, when we have the surplus in balance of trade, it does not mean that there will be the surplus in balance of payment also. Now, what is surplus? Surplus means when we have the higher value of export than the import. So, suppose there is a surplus in balance of trade. It does not mean that there will be the surplus in balance of payment, because balance of trade only consider the transaction of physical goods of import and export. But when we talk about balance of payment consider the transaction of visible and invisible, both the kind of goods and the services. So it might be possible that when there is a surplus in balance of trade, it might be possible that we need to do the payment, more payment for the invisible goods or the services. So it is not like that when there is a surplus in balance of trade, there might not be the surplus in the balance of payment. Okay guys, that's it for today in this lecture. Now we will conclude this lecture and we'll see it in the next lecture. And if you are having any query or the confusion, you can ask me. I will try my best to resolve a query, as I have the well arranged material. The material is not quite visible properly, or we might face problem in reading, but this is what I have managed from my side. I have given my best to get this material. But then also, if you have any query or the confusion, you can ask me by contacting me. I will try my best to resolve your query. Goodbye guys.